to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. Hope you're all really well. I am back with my August plans for you. So I am really excited about my plans for August. Really excited because they are amazing patterns and the most incredible fabrics, and I can't wait to share them all with you. Every single one of these fabrics are from my stash. I haven't bought anything new to make my garments with in August, which is just awesome because I am slowly trying to work my way through my stash. It's just going to take me forever, I admit that, because I can't stop buying beautiful fabrics and I don't think I ever will, but I do, as much as possible, try to use more than I buy, which not always works out that way, but you know, we can but try, can't we? Anyway, yeah, I want to share with you what I have chosen to make for August, and all of these patterns, there is nothing completely new either. All of these patterns are patterns from my stash too, so I really feel quite sort of wholesome about this, about August and about where it's going to go. They are all dresses, I believe, or thereabouts, that kind of thing. We'll start working through things anyway because I want to get on with my first one. I can't wait to start. So let's get straight into it. Most of these patterns are big four patterns as well. What I've done this month is I've actually had a little raid of my big four pattern stash because I have so many of their patterns and I just don't pull them out, and I don't know why that is. I think sometimes it's because in the past I have always traced off big four patterns rather than cutting them out of the tissue, and I'm going to be honest, I am sort of starting to change in that respect, and the reason for that is because I think if I'm honest, that's what puts me off wanting to use my big four patterns, because getting the pattern out, undoing all the tissue, looking at which pattern pieces I need to trace off for the version of the pattern that I want to make, then start tracing it all off, then making the adjustments, then cutting it all out, and all that process is very time consuming and labor intensive, and it puts me off. I'm going to be honest. With an indie pattern, I can either print it out on my printer or send it off for A0 printing and then just cut it out and I'm ready to go. You know, I still have to make the odd adjustment, I get that, but it just isn't as labor intensive before I get to the exciting bit, which is sewing. So I think that's what puts me off, and I think what I've started to do, I'm going to be honest, with my big four patterns, because they're just sitting there not getting used, I think that I'm just going to start cutting them out of the tissue. I know what sizing I need to go for now with the big four to make it work for me. You know, we all know that they've got their little quirks, but they are drafted very well. That's the thing. And you know that they've got that industry experience behind them. So I'm just going to go for it, guys. I'm just going to cut the tissue. Don't shoot me. It's going to be fine. Okay, so first one that I am going to make is this one, and it is Simplicity S9702. So it is this gorgeousness here. I want to make this version, and it's this beautiful loose fit boho style dress that, you know how much I love this style, and I've had this in my stash for ages actually. So let me just grab my glasses so I can tell you a little bit more about it. So what have we got? We've got a dress that it suggests fabrics such as poplin, gauze, cotton blends and linen, and the size range that I've bought is the 8 to 16. This is US sizing, not English sizing. I don't know what size I'm going to go for yet. Normally in a US size I'm around about a 12, I think so. I can't quite remember, but I never go by the measurements that are on the pattern envelope because they're always way off the mark when it comes to the sizing that I need to go with, and usually I'll pull the tissue out and have a look at the sizing on that. But I am going to need, for 60-inch wide fabric, roughly around 3.5 meters of fabric. If I show you the line drawings, you can see you've got this sort of V-neck front, and I want to do the short sleeve version with the, I don't know whether it's elastic or whether it's shearing, to be honest. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to do this version C, with all the tiers, midi length, maxi length, whatever I can get out of my fabric. So it does say that it needs just a bit more than 3 meters, and I am going to try and get it out of 3 meters if I'm honest. So I may have to make it just a little bit shorter, but the fabric I've chosen for this is this printed linen that I got from Rainbow Fabrics, and it was a 3 meter piece, which is why I only have 3 meters to play with. So this is it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's this white background with beautiful red flowers on it, and I just think it's going to make the most beautiful dress. So yeah, they had this in stock by the meter a couple of months back, and I didn't get any, and I regretted it. And then when I saw that they had a 3 meter piece, I just bought it, not really knowing what I could do with it at the time. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to make this dress with it. So I'm going to cut all the pieces out. I'm going to check which size I need, and then I'll lay all the pieces on here and see if I can get it out of this. If I can't, then I will just choose another fabric from my stash, because I have plenty, as we all know. So that is my first project, and that's the one I want to get on with first. Now, second and third are 2 indie patterns that have been on my list to make for the last couple of months, and I haven't had the opportunity to do them yet. So I am hoping this month I still might be able to get those done. And they are the Emma dress by Silversaga patterns and the named Suvi dress. I'm not really going to go into too much detail about those 2 patterns because I have discussed them before, but I'm sure you all know that they've been on my plans for a while and I still haven't got them done. The named pattern particularly, I will put some images of the patterns here, is one that was on my plans for July, and it's the only one that I didn't get done out of all my plans for July. So that is still outstanding, and I would love to get that made. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that made this month. The Emma dress I just want to make in a black and white, not linen, cotton gingham fabric that I have got. I think that will be beautiful for my holiday. So yeah, those 2 are still high up on the list. And another one that I had planned to make a couple of months back now, and it was actually out of this fabric that I'm wearing, is this one, and it is the Alyssa Threads Me ME2119. So it is this shorts and top set. I had originally said I was going to make this out of this fabric, and then obviously I didn't. I made a different cord set out of this fabric. So this is still to make, and I really like this little top and shorts. I think it's going to be so cute from a holiday. So I've gone with a different fabric, and the one that I've chosen is one that I got from First for Fabrics last summer, I believe, and it is this beautiful embroidered cotton lawn fabric in this gorgeous sort of tie-dye lilac, and it does have a scallop hem on it. The scallops, you can see, are just on the edge here, so you can cut that away. So I'm hoping to play around with that a little bit, and yeah, I want to make the shorts and top out of this. I think it's going to be really lovely, and I'll definitely get loads of wear out of it on holiday. So I am definitely going to make that this month because it hasn't been made yet, and obviously I ended up using the fabric for something else. But this is designed for cotton blends, eyelet, linen blends, silky types and voile. So lots of different woven fabrics you can make this little cord set out of. It does say for the top you need 1 1/4 more or less meters of 60-inch wide fabric, and for the shorts I think it's about the same. So I've got about 2.5 to 3 meters of that gorgeous lilac embroidered fabric, which I just think will be absolutely glorious in this little set. Yeah, it's just right up my street. So I'll show you the line drawings so you can have a look. I think they're really nice. Now, when I talked about this I think it was in May's plans, somebody commented that she felt it was a little bit on the young side, and I'm sure she didn't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I just want to make this really clear right now that the whole point of sewing is that we can get away from this idea that clothing or styles are either for young people or older people, and that certain styles can't be worn by people of over a certain age. I think, you know, the whole thing about sewing is that we just make what we love and what we like to wear and stay true to ourselves with our own style and aesthetic. And yeah, I'm not gonna not wear something like this because somebody thinks it's too young for me. You know, I'm 52 years old. I know that Alyssa is a lot younger than me, but for a holiday set, I think this is really nice. And we don't go around telling men that they shouldn't wear something because it's too young for them. So I don't understand why we think it's okay to do that with women. Just making that really clear. I hope that's okay. But yeah, I am definitely going to make this, and I am making it out of the lilac, and I will wear it and really, really enjoy wearing it. So yeah, looking forward to making that one this month as well. Next up is a pattern that I've had for ages, and I've seen it made up a few times and it just looks amazing on different people, and I haven't got round to it, but it's another Big Four pattern, and it is McCalls M8358, which is this vintage 70s Laura Ashley dress. Now there are two versions. This is the pattern here. Two versions of this gorgeous dress. I want to make this version, but when I look at the fabric requirements for this pattern, it says you need 4.5 meters of fabric for dress B, which is the version I want. That seems a lot, but then I guess with these vintage patterns in the 70s, they did use a lot of fabric, didn't they? When they was gathering it all up, they did use an awful lot of fabric. So I don't know, maybe it is going to take that much. But that really shocked me, because I look at that kind of pattern and think about 3 meters will cut it. So when I read that it said 4.5 meters of 60-inch wide fabric, I thought, wow, that seems a lot. So anyway, the original fabric that I had allocated for this pattern was not going to be enough, so I have looked in my stash and chosen a different one, and I have pulled out this. It is just glorious. So this is the fabric that I am going to use to make this dress. It's this really lovely viscose, and I just love the colours. I love the oranges and the pinks together. I think it's just so much fun and so pretty and so colourful. And I just think it's going to look so nice. So I have got 4 meters of this. I bought it from Sarah at Simple Life Fabric. She's now sadly, very, very sadly retired. So she doesn't have her store anymore, but I just love this so much. So yeah, I am really gutted because she had the most amazing fabrics at amazing prices. But yeah, she's sadly not selling anymore. So I've got this from her. It's one of the last purchases I made from her, to be honest. And that is going to be McCalls M8358. I have seen a few of these in the sewing community made up, and yeah, it's just a really cute dress that I just think is going to be lovely. So yeah, that is next up. And then another one that's been big in the sewing community, particularly last summer, I think it was. It's a No Me pattern by Mimi G, but I think the designer for this pattern was Beauty J'adore, and it is ME2016. I'm sure you've seen this pattern before. So I had this in my stash since last summer, and I really had to hunt for this pattern because it wasn't where I thought it would be. But this does have a sew along video tutorial that goes with this pattern. I know lots of people in the sewing community have made this, and it just looks amazing. So this dress is designed again for woven fabrics, cotton blends, linen blends, seersuckers, novelty sequin, double knits, taffetas and gauze. It is lined as well. Now I want to make this version, dress A. If I show you the line drawings, you can see it's got this really sort of cute sort of like yoke detail, how it's curved. I just think that's really nice, and it just looks so nice made up in lots of different styles. Again, this is a fabric hungry fabric, although saying that, what's really unusual must be the sleeves, because this version actually takes more fabric than this version, but I think it must be the sleeves. So dress B says it takes 3 3/4 meters of 60-inch wide fabric, and I have a linen in my stash that's been in there since last summer. I think it's a John Loudon linen. I'm not sure if I bought this from B&M Fabrics actually last summer, but it's this one. How amazing is that? I mean, it's just so colourful. It's just going to be wild. I think it will be so nice. This has got a bit of viscose in it, I think, because it's definitely got some drape to it, more than a 100% linen would. But those colours, oh, so saturated, and they're like watercolour flowers. I just love it so much. So I want to get this dress made, and I think one of the reasons I've not made this before now is because it was choosing a fabric that was going to be right for it. I think you need something with a little bit of structure to hold the shape of both the skirt and the sleeves. But yeah, I really like it. I do wonder if I might just lower the neckline a little bit. I just wonder for me if that very high round neckline is just a bit too high for my personal taste. I might just want to drop it just a little bit and scoop it out a little bit. But yeah, love this, and I think that is going to look incredible. And next up is this pattern. Now, I did talk about this one in my July plans as well. So this is Vogue V2041, and I mentioned that I was going to make this shorts romper version here. It's another vintage 70s pattern. It's a reissue from around 1970, and I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? So it's a jumpsuit, off the shoulder style, with these bell sleeves, wide legs that obviously you can have in the full leg length or a shorts romper style. I will show you the line drawings there. And I had planned to make this last month in a Fabric Godmother seersucker fabric and just didn't get round to it. I was going to make the shorts version, but ran out of time. But I have now decided I am going to make the long version in August. And the fabric that I am going to make this out of is just going to look incredible. Honestly, is this one, and it is this beautiful viscose that I got from So Essential. And when Lucy showed this on Instagram, I very quickly went over and bought 4 meters of it, and I am so glad I did, because it sold out the very same day. But it is just the most amazing fabric, and I think it is going to suit that pattern so well in the long version. It's just going to be mad, and I am here for it because it is absolutely gorgeous, this fabric. I mean, look at the detail. Yeah, I love it. I think, you know, I am just in my colourful era right now, because I go through these phases of where I want to be a little bit more muted and a little bit more pared down, and then I go the other end of the spectrum, and that's where I'm at the moment. I don't know why that is. I'm just embracing it for now. But yeah, I think that's just going to make the most amazing jumpsuit, and I can't wait to make it. So that is that one. And then finally, the last pattern that I want to make is another one that I found in my Big Force pattern stash, and it is McCalls M8482, which is this top and skirt. I just love this so much. I think it is absolutely stunning. So you've got a gathered skirt, elasticated waist, but I love how you've got the asymmetric design of the tiers. I think that's so unusual and so different. And then you've got a very simple sort of little crop top with it as well. There's 2 versions of this. You've got one with a shorter sleeve and then one with a longer sleeve that's got like a sash with it. So if I show you the line drawings on the back, hopefully you can see those there. I want to make the main image, which is the B version of the top, and the D, which is the maxi skirt. I think the two together, these two, look amazing. Now, when I look at fabric requirements for this, it takes a lot of fabric for both these patterns. So it suggests fabrics such as challis, so that's your viscoses, rayons, those types of fabrics, cotton blends, gauze and lightweight linen. And for, I'm going to do B and D. So B takes, let's have a look, top B with the sash, which sits 2 inches above the waist. So that's quite cropped, and I would probably want to lengthen it. That takes around 2 meters of fabric, which is quite a lot for a little top, isn't it? And then the skirt D takes 3.5, so that's 5.5 meters of fabric, and I need to lengthen. So I don't have anything in my stash of that kind of length, to be perfectly honest. I did pull this out, which I've got 4 meters of, because I think the top and skirt in this would be really nice. This is a viscose that I got from First for Fabrics, and it's gorgeous. It's not as bright as the other fabrics I've shown you, is it? But it's beautiful all the same. And I think as a top and skirt cord, I think that would be very wearable. But as I say, I only have 4 meters of this, which would probably mean I would have to go with this top instead. So top A takes a meter, a simple meter. So it seems a lot to go from 1 meter here to 2 meters there, when the only difference is you've got a sash and the sleeve is a little bit longer. What I am thinking is I might omit the sash if that is going to use up a lot of length of fabric, and then I can get away with the longer length. I would prefer the longer length sleeve, mainly because I don't like where the short sleeve hits on me. It just hits me on my widest part of my upper arms, which I'm always a little bit self-conscious about, if I'm honest. So I prefer this just hitting just above the elbow. I think that's a much more a better length for me. But I do want to make the long version of the skirt, so I don't know if I've got enough. I'm hoping I have. If I haven't, I have ordered some fabric from Stitch Fabrics. I ordered it last night, and hopefully that will be on its way. By the time you watch this video, I might already have it, but I will insert a picture of it here. I saw this, it's one of their new fabrics, and I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So I have ordered 5 meters of that. I know those two patterns say 5.5, but I've ordered 5 because I thought I'm going to make it work. I wasn't going to order another half meter because I don't think Stitch Fabrics do half meters. I think they just do full meters. But anyway, I've ordered 5 meters of fabric, and if I can't make it work out of this, I will make this set in this fabric instead when it arrives. This lightweight cotton, which I just think is absolutely gorgeous. So that's it. That's a lot to get through, isn't it? I do have a week off work in August, so I do have some time to get through some of these makes and some of these plans. But let me know what you think, because I just think some of these things really need to be made. These patterns have been sat in my stash for so long, some of them 2 or 3 years now, and they need to be made. So I am on it this month. I really am, and I'm looking forward to getting back into some of the big 4 patterns. I can't wait to see how they turn out. So let me know down in the comments below what you think to my plans for August. Do you think I'm wide of the mark with some of these, and maybe I should choose something else? I'm really interested in what your thoughts are. So I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give me a like if you have. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I know that there are loads of you that watch my vlogs that aren't subscribers, and I would love you to be part of this community. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will be back with you soon. Take care. Bye.